Alright everybody, this is startup update number 11 on Eddie's truck. I'll be working on the exhaust today with some all-clad. I have these two little ones taped off. I did that yesterday, and now I have to work on the main exhaust. I gotta tape it off in here. Then I'll probably set the camera up to at least show me applying the, I think I'm going to use aluminum all-clad on the exhaust pipes. So let me go ahead, pause for now, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, back on the exhaust. I got everything ready in the spray booth, and I'm going to also hit the fuel tank with this all-clad aluminum. It's mixed up and ready in the airbrush, so let's get started. I'll do a couple coats and then I'll pause the camera and finish up. Not too bad. Looking pretty good. Alright, hopefully that was all caught on camera. I'll pause for now, finish up, and let everybody look at the results. once that's all done. So let me pause for now and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on Eddie's truck. Last weekend I worked on the exhaust and the fuel tank, and I applied the aluminum all clad. So this weekend I'm going to unmask it, hit it with another clear coat, and then next weekend I should be able to finish that off. Over here I primered some parts up for the engine, spare tire down here, and I'll paint all this off camera to save some time and then show the results. Very little left to do on the truck other than finishing the exhaust and a few parts on the engine. I figured I'd give everybody a quick update on Eddie's truck, and I'll talk with everybody later. Okay everybody, another update on Eddie's truck. Yesterday I finished the exhaust with the all clad. It really turned out nice. I hit it with a clear coat today. Same for here. All the other parts to the engine and chassis are right here, and then the tire down here. Over here I'm working on the final assembly of the chassis. All the parts here on my bench I'm going to be putting together, gluing them up and getting them ready for some primer. So I'll go ahead, pause for now, and talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on Eddie's truck. I've worked on primering everything that needed to be primered up yesterday. Lower A-frame, transmission mount, drive shaft, coil springs, and a few other parts. Here you can see on here I've got the lower A-frame and the springs. I got that all primered up. Transmission mount down here, so that got that all primered up. I had a little accident with the spare tire yesterday and I had to redo this all over again. Wasn't happy about that. It got clumsy. I have to still clean it up a little bit and hit it with another coat of primer today. But all these parts here on that are primered will get all gloss black. The you call this part here, rear axle. The rear axle gets gloss black. So that's what I'll be doing today, is getting all this stuff that's primered painted gloss black, other than cleaning up the spare tire. All the rest of the stuff is ready to go, ready to be assembled. The exhaust, everything, I did that a couple weeks ago, so that's ready to be installed on the chassis. So I should be able to knock this out today, painting everything that's primered gloss black, and then I'll be able to start to assemble the chassis. And I'm almost done with the truck, slowly getting there. Then I can move on to another project, start another kit, but I figured I'd give everybody a quick update on the truck. A little bit more work to go and Eddie's truck will be done. So I'll pause for now and talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on Eddie's truck. This is Sunday morning, 20 after 10, November 25th. If I got the date right. Slowly getting Eddie's truck finished. Almost there. These are the parts here on the table that I have to install, and let's see, this will be the windshield washer reservoir I gotta put under the hood. This one here is brake fluid. Looks like that's the brake fluid reservoir right there. And then the battery. And then also the ABS brake control system. And I did the side mirrors last night. I glued in the little mirrors, and they look pretty good. They're not top notch, but they'll do. And here's the other one. So not too bad. They're already painted in a clear coat, so they're nice and shiny. Same with this one here. Got a nice shine to it. You can see right there, it looks pretty nice. And over in my spray booth, everything's finished. The back there, I got everything painted last night with a semi-gloss black. For the chassis, I got the dry shaft right here. You can see turned out pretty nice. I had the spare that turned out pretty nice. I like it better. I did it first time around in the gloss black. The semi-gloss black looks a lot better. Exhaust is done. Used all clad. Turned out really good. I still have a little bit of motor work to do yet, but getting back on his truck, I'll be doing this off camera, be installing these parts. Side mirrors, I may try to put them on today or sometime this work week ahead. So I'll pause for now, continue working on Eddie's truck, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on Eddie's truck. I'm going to be finally getting the chassis finished this weekend. First thing I gotta do is mount the motor on the inside here, and then let that dry, and then I'll start finishing up the bottom with the exhaust, spare tire, and rear axle and all that. But this weekend I should have the truck done, and then I can start on my next project, which is the tank. The motor goes in something like this. So let me go ahead and get started on this. I'll probably do a lot of work off camera and then show the end results. So let me get started, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update on the truck. Slowly getting and assembling the lower chassis. I just installed the exhaust, and it's not lining up with the exhaust manifolds, so I got a little work cut out for that. But overall, it's taking shape. It's looking good. You can see here, get the rear axle in, the dry shaft. Everything's looking good so far. I had to use a little brace piece of plastic in here to hold the main exhaust stable. Wasn't really working out, and I can paint that up. It's nothing. And once it's put together, you're not going to really see the bottom too much of the truck. So I'm going to continue working off camera to get this done, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, this is Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, December 1st, down in my workshop. I'm going to be finishing up Eddie's truck today. Keep my fingers crossed. Yesterday I worked on the lower chassis here. I put the rear axle in, the exhaust. First I mounted the motor first. You can see on this side here, looking pretty decent. So I have to install lower A-frame, the kingpins, the coil springs on the front here of the chassis, and once I get that all installed, the chassis is done. I can flip it over and get ready to put it into the bottom of the truck. You can see Eddie's truck right there. It's all finished. I added some parts under the hood I think I'm finished with that part. So I'm going to pause the camera, continue working on finishing up Eddie's truck this weekend, and I'll talk with everybody later. Alright everybody, another update. The chassis is finished. You can see here. Finally finished the front. Assembled it. Everything's dry, ready to go. Everything's looking good. Next step is to mount it to the body. So I'll continue working off camera here, get this out of the way. Should have it done today, and I'll talk with everybody later. Okay everybody, this is the final update on Eddie's truck. I'm finished with it. I worked on the motor this weekend. I did the chassis. Everything looks pretty cool. On the bottom side here, the exhaust, spare tire, the fuel tank, just everything went into place with very little problems, so that was good. But the chassis turned out really sweet. And then I know it took me several months to get this done, but with my work schedule and everything going on, I just don't spend as much time in my shop as I'd like to, and I don't get paid for my hobby. I mean, it is what it is. I enjoy doing things different, especially with this pickup truck, to make it look like Eddie's from the pictures I saw online. Really a cool truck. The Chevy 454 SS 1/25th scale. Let me stop it here, put the hood back on. This is going to look good in my display case upstairs. There's with the hood on. And I used all Tamiya paints and clear coat on this truck, and turned out fine. Would I build another one? Well, maybe down the road, use a different color scheme, but for now I'm happy with this one. Looks pretty cool. So I'm going to call this a wrap for this build. Fan build of Eddie's pickup truck. I'd like to thank all my YouTube subscribers. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. More to come on my channel, and I'll talk with everybody later.